This is the Player 4 Podcast. Join us each week as we talk about video games, entertainment, and pop culture, and bring in guests from the Rooster Teeth community. Player 4 has entered the game.
Welcome to another exciting episode of the Player 4 Podcast.
Hello, I am Tristan, aka Chakraseer, on the Rooster Teeth website.
I am Alex, aka Chaos Black.
I'm Malachi, aka Suki Kiba.
And I'm Joseph, a.k.a. Jay Dunlap.
Yay. Alex, what happened? You, got through Chaos Black, and then we all kind of waited for the 21.
I said it.
It came at the end. It did.
There was, this long pause on 21.
That was a internet thing that, for some reason, broke up. Off to a great start.
Hey, the gang's all here.
Our topics for today, or should I say the triptychs, we wish to throw back to last week's episode, the non-NDA stuff from the Community Summit that Joseph wanted to talk about. Mal got a new car, and Big Bite has an announcement that Joseph will grace our ears with. So why don't we start with Mal's new car, actually? That seems like a short topic.
Yeah, it's going to be very short. So I, unfortunately, had to buy my new car finally, because I think a couple podcasts ago we talked about the tree falling on my car. It was unfortunate. I want to burn all trees now. And I've got a new 2009 Honda Accord LXS. It is very nice. Pristine interior, but the outside has a bit of rust that I have to get worked on. But I got it for a good price, so I'm happy. I feel a little relieved, but stressed out that I have a new car, because I'm afraid something's going to happen to it.
I feel happy.
It's a very mixed emotions, lovely. Oh, and a fun little fact is it's stick shift. I am driving manual.
Ooh, I'm sorry.
I don't mind it.
Who's Manuel?
Oh, God.
Oh my gosh. Wait, did we do the theme song?
Malachi's Meanderings?
Yeah.
It's Malachi's Meanderings. That actually lined up a little better than expected.
All right, Malachi, and I have to go through all that again.
Nope, I quit. I'm leaving. Not talking to you guys anymore.
I quit.
All right, what's the other bloody topic we're talking about?
Joseph wanted to go back in time and talk about the community summit that he went to.
Yes, and I just wanted to point out for anyone who maybe has missed the past few episodes, my internet is absolute poop. And all that stuff just now, where we were able to time really well, was me just taking a stab about when people would be done talking or when Tristan would start singing. So
Joseph's internet is shitting on everybody.
Bleep.
Bleep. Yes, just like Alex in Minecraft.
Goodness gracious.
All right. So the day before RTX, the admins of most of the Rooster Teeth community groups were invited to a summit. This was achieved through an invitation from the Discord server called RT World, which is solely for the admins of the community. I was informed of this when Joe of Big Bite said, "You are going to join the Discord. You are going to the community summit." Sound familiar? The summit was hosted by Chelsea. Right. I did compromise. Editing magic will fix that.
Go on.
The summit was hosted by Chelsea Atkinson. Anyone who's listened to this podcast for a few months probably remembers her appearance on our podcast. And Jackie, a.k.a. Geeky Fried Rice, formerly of RT Las Vegas and now the community manager for Rooster Teeth. I did sign a non-disclosure agreement about some of the things that we were told and heard and saw, but I will give a short summary for those who are curious about the future of the Rooster Teeth community and its website. I've gone over my head for the past almost 2 weeks, making sure I don't say anything I'm not supposed to say because they were vague about what we were supposed to not say. But the long and short of it is they've heard us. They've heard our complaints. They know that our complaints are well-founded concerning rolling out a new website and disappearing for 3 years, which corresponds directly with when the podcast was about half a year old. They've hired an entirely new team, and their entire goal is to fix it. And they don't intend to roll something out and then disappear for 3 years. They intend to get feedback and implement that feedback and continue to do so and fix the website. Not only that, but the new community team, partially comprised of former community members, are dedicated to being more in tune with what the community wants. and what the community's feeling. And the new president of Rooster Teeth that came from Fullscreen and has recently moved to Austin, Ezra Cooperstein, is just wholly dedicated to the community because he's very, very passionate about it. He only had heard of the community and Rooster Teeth and all of that a few years back, but he's just become enamored, I suppose, with that dynamic that Rooster Teeth has. It's been emphasized over and over, not just at the summit, but also at the Q&A roundtable that Matt V and I went to for Big Bite, that Rooster Teeth considers itself part of the community, and they consider the community part of Rooster Teeth. And the issue is it hasn't felt like it, and they're trying to fix that. So I can't go into specifics about what's going to happen, but I am going to tell you that they have hired basically an entirely new team on the tech side and on the liaison side with the community. And they're listening to us, and they're trying to implement change.
I've always had the impression that Rooster Teeth was purely made as a community thing and then branched into what it is now.
When it started off, it was just a few guys in a living room recording voice acting over a Halo backdrop.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so much community until they made their website and people joined the website. And then from there, it was just sort of their buddies, basically, people they chatted with regularly.
Yeah, so more just a community.
So in a way, you're actually kind of right.
Yeah. It was their personal community, but it was a community.
So, guys, thoughts on all that news from the summit?
I'm excited that they're going to be working more on the community side of the website. I know from talking with some of the engineers who are working on the website itself that the focus thus far has been on the video streaming and getting their video libraries up to date. But they are aware that there is a lot of demand from the user base, from the community, that the community side of the site be brought up to speed and made usable. So honestly, out of all of it, that's my biggest takeaway, is that that's finally going to get some attention.
Yeah, I mean, it's good that it seems to be more serious, I guess, because in the past it was always the community would come with pitchforks and torches and talk about just start complaining, and then they'd be like, all right, no, things are changing, we aren't showing any change, but don't worry, it's changing. And then everyone would die down and be like, all right, they're going to fix it, and then it would just go away until swept under the rug, it seemed like, until we started complaining again. But now with the summit, at least, it looks like they're actually showing physical wanting to actually fix the site. It's good that you can actually see an effort rather than just basically being told that there's an effort and that's it.
Yeah, I like I said, I had a chance to talk with the engineers, so I know that I mentioned, an important thing being communication, that it's great to know that they are working on it, but if they don't put out any kind of update, it's hard to know that there is work being done on it. People begin to assume that there isn't when they don't hear anything.
There's one more thing, which is a lot of us are making an effort now to come back to the site and use it again. That was partially just sort of something that was said at the summit, was the need for people to sort of lead by example. So I've come back to the site. I wrote a post RTX journal like I've done in the past. I don't think I did one last year. I think I just posted a link to our breakdown from the podcast, but I went and made a journal. Jackie and Chelsea are heavily active on the site, kind of like back when Barbara and Caleb used to be. And Gus seems to be kind of active as well. So if you guys are wanting to come back and see what it looks like, come read my journal and see what Jackie and Chelsea have to say, interact with people, see if you enjoy it again.
I've got about a quarter of my post RTX journal written, and it's just been waiting for me to finish it.
I need to get started on that.
I believe that brings us to our final topic, Big Bite's big announcement with Big Joseph. Go, Big Joseph.
Big Joseph.
Wow. Yes. You made a reference that got redacted last week, Alex, to
I did.
Saturday night, Barlympics, side quest, and group chat. But another highlight from that night was the Big Bite group chat, where we sort of spur of the moment decided we would start a D&D group. And through the course of that conversation, one of the artists from our panel said that if we had one, that she would draw things. I don't know, maybe it's like so-called fan art, or maybe it's a comic or something inspired by the D&D game to be published in the magazine. So we're trying to get the wheels spinning on this, get our group put together, and decide the logistics. I'm thinking like an hour a week, like a podcast, whether or not we record, because then that gives a lot of material for the artist, or maybe even an hour a month, because even then it's 3 hours of material for the artist to draw, an episode a month or an episode a week. We got to figure it out if we're going to do an audio format or art, but it's kind of exciting because I haven't done D&D since Tristan's game, and I want to situate it on a night that doesn't conflict with anything so that I can do all the things I've got to do. But if it's once a month or if it's once a week even, it's not that big of a deal because you guys know me. I've gotten lazy with my editing.
Lazy. All the lazy.
Except when I'm not.
Redacted.
So that's the news with Big Bites. I'm excited for the adventures that will be had. I have no idea what the adventure will be about. I just know that it should prove to be interesting. Maybe Tristan and I can coordinate some sort of crossover. I don't know. We'll see. All right, that's it for that topic. What are we at on time, Malachi?
19. So we also had like 2-3 minutes.
So 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10.
Malachi, but what topic are we missing?
Getting the flip out of here.
No, but it's not time yet, because once this is edited, it's going to be like 12 minutes.
Short could be good.
That's what you wanted to do.
Nice short podcast.
Yeah,
edit.
I was gonna bring 2 more things up.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
I was just gonna say, even though we try to be brief with the D&D, I was gonna ask Tristan something about his D&D game.
Ask and I will answer.
All right, Tristan, how's your D&D game been going? Is anything exciting? Give us a highlight of what's happened this month.
The highlight of what's happened this month, I think, would be actually last night's session, which was our first in 2 weeks. The group has been trying to find and root out the source of really bad magic that's been mind controlling everyone in this small town. They got led out of the town on a ruse, trying to get them to kill a unicorn, who they managed to speak to only because one of their members speaks Sylvan, and he helped them understand the situation a little bit better. So they ran back into the town and went down beneath the mayor's house, and it was this series of perfectly cut spherical chambers in the stone with no way of climbing between them because of their arrangement. So the group is like doing this whole rope trick thing where they're trying to lower themselves into different places, and they've just defeated a beholder-like creature that kept mimicking the things they said at them. And Alex is very happy about this. What happened with that, Alex?
Usually my character, he's a paladin, and he wears heavy armor. So he rolls really crappy. So I usually go last, or one of the last ones. And I rolled a nat 20, so I got to go first. I was able to one-shot it.
He rolled a critical strike on his first attack, on his second attack, and killed the thing in one hit. And it led to exactly the question I was hoping it would, because they'd been told, or they'd been led to believe, that the source of all the problems in the town were an aberration. And we know that beholders are aberrations. And so he kill it. He just blows it up in one hit with smite. And they go, I guess we solved the problem. That was easy. And then one of the party members went to examine other rooms that were connected to this chamber and saw this giant, horrifying-looking spider on the ceiling and said, I don't think we're done here, guys. So the next session is going to be this exciting fight with a giant spider monster.
Oh, you missed one of the fun parts, was one of the characters going invisible and acting like a poltergeist to scare everyone out of the house that we had to go in.
Yes, they needed to go into the mayor's mansion because they had determined that was the center of the malevolent aura that was affecting everything. And they'd already determined that the mayor himself wasn't the problem. So they're like, well, we just need to get everybody out of the building so we can do a top-to-bottom search and figure out what's going on here. So they turned one of the party members invisible, and he ran in and just started, like, throwing things off of shelves, opening and closing doors, saying terrifyingly menacing things in people's ears until everybody ran out of the building screaming.
That was pretty funny. That was a fun scene.
So yeah, that was last night's session. That was definitely a highlight.
Sweet, awesome. Sounds like crazy shenanigans continue.
There's no end to the shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
And there's one last thing I was going to bring up, which is concerning a post that went out on our social media, on our Twitter, this past week because Alex and I have started to schedule our posts and coordinate and get our social media, filled with memes, as you do. And there was one I threw up there. I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was a Morpheus saying, "What if I told you P4Craft is coming back?"
Oh,
I
boy.
saw it.
Are you telling me that P4Craft is coming back?
I'm telling you that I'm going to transfer the files from my computer where I still have Premiere, and I'm going to attempt to see what editing work I can get done on the P4Craft recording session that we did the last time we were recording P4Craft.
Does that mean we need to get games ready? Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
No,
Oh.
don't overwhelm me, Malachi.
No, I'm gonna do stuff on the server and get some cool stuff set up for us to do. I can do that. Tristan and I can work on something.
I mean,
fun.
you guys can coordinate if you want to. I'm just going to focus on getting this hour 45 recording session knocked out because
okay.
that's really been the obstacle between me and getting that edited.
Oh, all right. But we're gonna do some more, maybe. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I would love to.
Sounds good. I'm excited. Let's do some P4 crafting.
Yes.
What time is it?
It's time to get the flip out of here.
Let's get the flip out of here.
You almost sounded like a boost.
You did.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night, guys.
Oh boy.
Good night, everyone.
Hashtag goodbye.
Goodbye.
Alex,
Joseph.
so there was a Caboose cosplayer. Did you see him at RTX?
No, I did not, because, I don't know, there's a lot of people in armor. And I
He was a
too
friend
busy.
of Matt V's.
Oh,
He did this thing where he put his helmet on and did a spot-on Caboose impression.
that's too bad. I wish I would have seen that, because I would have enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
all I could think about was he and Alex would have a good time being Caboose together.
Are
I would
you
be like,
my
oh no, two
lost brother?
cabooses.
Cabooses.
Oh my god.
Thanks to the following patrons for making this video possible. Support us at patreon.com/player4podcast.